Renegade football on Time Warner Cable. Catch all the Bakersfield College home games exclusively on CNNSI Channel 52. Sunday nights at 8:30 p.m. with encore showings on Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. following high school football. Hard-hitting, high-scoring, that's BC football. Brought to you by Motor City and Mish Funeral Home.
The following is a special presentation exclusively from Time Warner Cable, brought to you by the generous sponsorship of Motor City and Mish Funeral Home.
Good evening from Stockdale High School. Welcome to the Prep Football Game of the Week right here on CNNSI, Time Warner Cable, Channel 52. I'm Mark Heffernan with Brian Adams. Stockdale finished second in the Southwest Yosemite League. The record, they only had one loss in the league, 7-3 overall. They lost by 5 to Centennial last week. They play Edison tonight, the Tigers, co-champions of the North Yosemite League. This should be an interesting contest. Edison has a small team as far as the line's concerned, but they are very quick, very fast.
Edison is trying to use the speed to their advantage. They have a lot of nice athletes on the perimeter in the skill position. What they want to do tonight is get them on the outside and use their speed against the team they may feel is just a little bit slower. Whereas vice versa, Stockdale's going to pound the ball more. We saw them do it against Stockdale. They had a very well-rounded game, pound the ball inside, and hit a quick passing game. And Stockdale's going to continue to play good defense to stay in this game tonight.
Unfortunately for Stockdale, Jimmy Watkins and Taylor Ochoa have been banged up the last month. They will play tonight, but not at full speed.
Yeah, and they were two big keys in the success of this team, so they're going to have to suck it up. There's nothing else to lose tonight. If you lose tonight, you go home. Suck it up. Put a good performance on. Hopefully bring a win home for the Mustangs.
And these are the Central Section Yosemite Division playoffs. 7-3 Stockdale against 6-3 Edison. Tonight on CNNSI, Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
I'm sitting across from a person who's getting ready to write a large sum of money for an automobile, and I've purchased vehicles before, and I know exactly what they're going through. It can be nerve-wracking. The no-hassle, no-haggle price allows Saturn to be so much at ease with the customer and allows us to treat everyone so fair. It really doesn't matter whether you do a short-term lease, a long-term lease, short-term financing, long-term financing, or cash. Once you're in the Saturn family, you're in the Saturn family. I am going to see this person again. You see them at the supermarket, and you see them in a restaurant, so we want to make sure they are completely comfortable with the entire process.
I'm Ray Mish, and I know grief comes in many forms. Over the past 40 years, the Mish family has given compassionate, understanding services to thousands of grieving families. The Mish family can provide all needs regardless of your tradition. It may be traditional funeral services or cremation, even counseling for pre-arranged funeral plans. We have 2 locations in Oildale and the Southwest just to help you, and that makes a whole lot of difference.
For tonight's game for the Edison.
That was good evening from Stockdale High School. Mustang Stadium as the Stockdale Mustangs will take on the Edison Tigers in a CIF Central Section Sim Division playoff game. Stockdale coming in with a record of 7-3. Edison is 6-3. Edison, the co-champions of the North Yosemite League, along with Bullard, one of the 3 teams to defeat them this year. The other teams were Arroyo Grande from the Central Coast and Washington Union, the Sequoia Division School just east of Fresno. Stockdale finished second to
The
Centennial in the
officials for
Southwest
tonight's game,
Assembly
the
League,
referee is Nick
losing
Ellis.
last week
The
18-13
umpire,
to the
Mark
Golden
Roberts,
Hawks.
head
And
linesman
coming to
Jack
this game
Turner.
after
The
a pretty
line
good year
judge is
for Mark
Matt
Hannes.
Collier.
Yeah, Coach
Back
Hansen and his
judge,
staff should be
Bill
applauded for the
Solan,
season they
and
had in the regular
box,
season.
Joe
They did a
Salvador.
good job of getting their team ready to play. They played good defense all year, and despite some key injuries, they still were successful in putting together a good season.
Well, as we mentioned prior to the game, Edison has a lot of speed. I looked at their roster. They're not a very big team. In fact, most of their offensive linemen are under 200 pounds. A lot of them are 5'10", 5'11", which is rather small compared to most of the teams we have seen this year. And we saw Stockdale in a very good outing against Foothill. They were very dominant. They utilized so many players. They ran the ball well. They passed the ball well. Patrick Frazier has had an outstanding year at quarterback, a junior for Stockdale. But in the last month, Jimmy Watkins and Taylor Ochoa, two of the main players offensively, also Taylor, a defensive player for
Edison has
Stockdale,
won the
they've
toss
been kind of
and
injured.
chosen to
Now,
receive.
they'll both play tonight, but not at
Stockdale will
100%,
defend the
so it's,
south goal.
for those two guys, it's going to be a gut check type of effort. Jeff Polsey and Lisa Muzo have won 2 free passports to Disneyland. And you can pick up your passports from the Time Warner Cable Ad Sales Office anytime, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's at 3232 Rio Murata Suite D2, just behind the Oxford Inn off Bucklands Boulevard. Or you can call us at Time Warner Cable at 322-1941, 322-1941. The answer to last week's question, how tall is the Christmas tree in Town Square at Disneyland? Is it 40 feet, 50 feet, or 60 feet? The answer is 60 feet. Oh. We'll have another promotion during halftime of our game tonight.
Yeah, congratulations, Jeff and Lisa.
All right. Edison Tigers, always a perennial power in the Fresno area. And as you mentioned, Brian, when you played, they were a team that had a lot of speed. They were outstanding in football and track and field. And in fact, I didn't mention that 21 of the 22 starters graduated from last year, so they only have one guy returning this year. And I think they lost 2 of the first 3 games, but they really come on of late. 4 players from their team last year are now competing at Division I schools.
Yeah, and that's also a testament to the coaching staff, getting the new players ready and teaching them early and having a successful season. Like you said, Edison has always been known for great skill players, from Tim McDonald to now Ricky Manning at UCLA.
A kickoff, Edison and White.
Johnny Hodge with the return.
Hodge, 25-30-yard line, gets a block, 35-40. They can't bring him down. He finally stumbles down at the 47-yard line. Johnny Hodge, one of the guys to watch for Edison in the game tonight.
Yeah, Johnny Hodge is a senior. He plays both ways. He's one of their best cornerbacks, and also he plays tailback for them. And you can see right now how explosive they are with their skill position players.
Unfortunately, one of their top players, Ethan Butler, is out with a sprained ankle. He's number 10. I'm not sure if he's going to play. He's 5'8", 168. 6-3 overall, 4-1 in the NYL. Co-champions with Bullard. Wideouts, Aaron Miller, number 3, split end. Slot back, Mike Stamps, number 5. The quarterback, Nate Brewer, a junior who's come on. Brewer rolling to his right. Throws it incomplete, low high for his intended receiver. Now Brewer was not named the starter until about a week before the season. Nate at 5'10", 162, flanker back, number 17, Daniel Brandon. Tailback Johnny Hodge, number 27. Fullback is Terrell Hell. And the offensive line, one of the tackles, 51, is Lawrence Wafer. The other tackle, number 53, Eddie Asbury. The center is Joe Marquez, 54. And the guard, one of the guards, Aaron Atkinson, number 56, the lone returner from last year. And the other guard is number 77, Jesse Fretwell. 2nd and 10 for Edison. Man in motion, 3 receivers wide to the right. Ball given to the middle, running back across midfield, fumbles the ball. Into Stockdale territory, the Mustangs have it. Unbelievable. Terrell Hell was a ball carrier, number 33, out a couple of yards, and they plucked it out of his arm. Stockdale comes up with a break.
Yeah, and we talked all year long about turnovers and field position, and in the playoffs, turnovers is crucial, and Stockdale takes the first bite by coming up with a big fumble recovery.
Stockdale offensively with number 7, Patrick Frazier, the quarterback. Flanker number 17, Derek Martin, 37 catches this year, 382 yards and a score. Grant Gribbons, tied in. 22 receptions, 477 yards. Cho, the ball carrier, across the 40 to the 43. Gibbons with just under 500 yards and receptions and 9 touchdowns. Grant Gibbons, the tight end. We were impressed with him that game against Foothill. He's number 8. Right tackle number 74, Darren Carr. The right guard number 52, Aaron Orndorff. The center's number 61, Jeff McGuire. Left guard number 66, Chris Bratton. Watkins, Jimmy Watkins. About a 200-pounder, across the 45 to about the 48-yard line.
Jimmy Watkins.
Left tackle's number 60, Robert Rodriguez. Split in number 3, Bill Wright. Bill with 14 receptions this year, 221 yards and a score. Adam Abel has been carrying the ball quite a bit lately, number 9, a fullback, 437 yards on the ground, 3 scores. Watkins, midfield 50, stays on his feet. Close to the first down marker, may have it. It depends where they spot it.
Brought down by number
Ochoa, running back number 10, 673 yards and 7 scores. And Frazier, 96 for 171, 1,372 yards passed for Frazier, 13 touchdowns. So we see Watkins there, who has been injured, but running hard on this first series for Stockdale. There he is again, good opening. To inside of 40 to about the 38-yard line. They definitely need this guy to be healthy because we were so impressed with him against Foothill. He's a big kid, runs really hard.
And we were impressed with the whole team tonight against Foothill. And injuries can hurt you, but tonight what you're seeing early is you're seeing Stockdale come out with double tight end, and they're going to use their size advantage and strength and just pound Edison right now.
Watkins again after a gain of 1 yard. Stockdale running a hurry-up offense so far tonight, Brian.
Yeah, and at that play right there, we've seen Edison bring the corner, kind of just come off the edge, and that's what they're going to have to do. But you got to be careful bringing that corner, because if he comes and they do a play action, there's going to be a tight end wide open.
And Edison calls a timeout to get himself adjusted. Stockdale with excellent field position at the Edison 38-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. After that fumble by Edison off their first series, 10:05 to play here in the first quarter, first round of the playoffs. It's all or never.
There's nothing left to leave out tonight, because if you lose, you're going to go home and get ready for basketball or baseball, whatever season's next, and if you win, you got another big game next week. Each game gets more and more important.
Well, you played in a lot of playoff games at Bakersfield High School. How do coaches approach a playoff game as opposed to a regular season game?
Well, for us, Coach Preston, from day one, instilled in us that every game we have to take this could be the game to knock you out. Our goal was to go undefeated, which we did both times. But when we came to the playoffs, we were always the number 1 seed. So our thing was we didn't want to be embarrassed by being the number 1 seed, being knocked off by number 8.
Everybody was gunning for you. Derek Martin the ball. Cuts inside of 35 to about the 32. Martin lining up on the left side, the wide receiver. Now they have utilized him out of the backfield at times this year. Like I said, he had over 200 yards rushing this season, 382 yards through the air, and 1 touchdown. A very versatile player for the Stockton Mustangs. His brother played here a couple of years ago. He was a fine pitcher. In fact, was the ace reliever for BC a few years ago. Martin in motion. Watkins heads to 30, dives forward, close to the first down. There you have the power of the 198-pounder. And think about him, you hit him and he normally goes forward 1 or 2 yards. So you have that inside runner open it up for the outside.
Yeah, and that's, whoever's going to be your running back, you want him to keep running hard. And we know Watkins is going to bring the load every time he touches the ball.
Hurry up offense for Stockdale. 3rd and short. Watkins has the first down inside the 25 to about the 23. Stockdale really pushing it against Edison tonight. Keeping the ball on the ground. Up to the line of scrimmage very quickly. 2 receivers to the left side for the Mustangs. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. Watkins again, good hole to the 20. Dives forward to about the 17-yard line. Just running power football.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing, and we saw them do this against Foothill, and what they'll do is they'll start throwing an extra little wrinkle every time something goes. They'll have a guy go in motion and go behind, just something else to think about, and they will utilize it sooner or later. So
I told you about the fact that Edison did not have a lot of size in their offensive line. Stockdale's trying to take advantage of it, and we have a timeout. Officials timeout. Very short. And I was looking at the lineman for Edison. As far as the size dimension, we'll look at it in a moment. About 2nd and 4 for Stockdale. Outside the 15-yard line. Here's Watkins. Look at that opening. Powers his way close to the 10-yard line off the right side. They're going left, they're going right. They're opening up some big holes.
Yeah, Edison's not going to be able to sit back with just 3 down linemen and expect to stop this offense right now that the Mustangs are providing. They're going to have to come and bring 8 and 9 guys in the box to stop the run and force them to pass. And let your athletes make some plays by covering the receiver.
1st and 10 outside the 12. Watkins the ball. Powers his way to about the 7-yard line. Eric Cole, number 46 for Edison, is 6'1", 182. Other down lineman is Jonathan Chatrain, 55 or 50. Yeah, he's 5'11", 235. Aaron Atkinson, number 56, is 5'11", 200. So not a lot of size there.
So you're talking about guys that are as big as Watkins are playing defensive line.
That's right.
And, you know, we've seen Stockdale has the ability to play power football.
And second down and 8 for Stockdale. Watkins, nice cut back to the 5 and thrown down.
Watkins brought
Patrick
down
Frazier rolling out to him that time.
Cecil Hale.
Kind of spreading out that defense somewhat. Hale with the tackle for Edison. Third and a long 3 for the Mustangs. Martin, Gibbons, Carr, Orndorff, McGuire, Bratton, Rodriguez, Whites. Ochoa, Frazier, and Watkins. Inside handoff, they will be shy of the first down. Taylor Ochoa met head on
Eric Cole.
by Cole, one of the key players for Edison. It's fourth down for Stockdale. Looks like we're going to try for a field goal.
And we do know that Stockdale has an excellent field goal kicker. We saw him kick a
Number 32.
Yes, Brent Warren, yes.
40-yard field goal when we watched him.
He's probably inside linebacker, 6 feet, about 210 pounds. So Warren trying a 22-yarder from the 12-yard line. Snap is down. Line drives it. It's good. It wasn't pretty, but it gets the job done.
With 6 minutes and 42 seconds left in the first quarter for Stockdale Mustangs.
Stockdale's going to draw first blood with a field goal. But Edison on that third down play, that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to bring people to the line. They cannot sit back and play smash mouth there. They're just too small. But they're going to do some stunts like that, blitzing linebackers. He may even blitz in the safety if they have that package.
I think Edison somewhat dodged a bullet there. It's pretty good for them only to give up 3 points to Stockdale. As the Mustang came up with that turnover, moved the ball downfield, Edison came up with a big third down play and forced the Mustangs to go for the field goal. And even though it was a line drive, it went over, so 3-0 Stockdale. Early here in the first quarter, 6:42 to play. Mustangs really moving quickly to the line of scrimmage with a hurry-up offense here on the first series. From Mustang Stadium on the campus of Stockdale High School. The Mustangs losing to Centennial last week, 18-13. A game where they led most of the time, though, was by a very small margin.
Number 4, Nate
And the last 2
Brown.
years, Stockdale's played Centennial very tough.
And number 20,
Last year was
Keith
19-14
Goodwin.
right here. So
And number 9,
the last 2 seasons,
Bobby
the
Jones.
games have been decided by less than a touchdown.
And they match up.
Defensive efforts.
And they match up well with Centennial. I also believe they match up well with the BHSs this year and the other teams in the city because they do have the ability to play great defense and they have an offense that can put some points on the board.
They're not kicking the ball deep line.
With the return.
Good field position for Edison up to about the 37-yard line. And they're not
Johnny
kicking it
Hodge brought down by
downfield.
number 19,
Johnny Hodge,
Cale
one of the top
Gillingham.
players, able to pick it up. And they have a first down from their own 38-yard line.
Yeah, and when you're kicking the ball to Edison, I mean, they have 4 or 5 guys back there. They're all dangerous players. They can touch the ball and take it back. Miller's their main man, but like you said, Hodge, he's a running back, and he showed twice on 2 kickoff returns he has the ability to make some moves and maybe take one the distance.
The Stockdale defense ranked number 9 in the area this year. They had allowed almost 1,200 yards on the ground, 1,100 yards through the air, 2,296 yards. Offense ranked a bit higher. That just goes on yardage. Bird to pass. Does not get away. Sacked for about a yard loss. Had a couple of receivers going deep. They hit a sandwich by the Stockdale defensive line, including McGuire, number 61, and Orndorff.
About a yard on the play.
And that was a great technique right there by the Stockdale Mustangs defensive line. You got pressure, but you also kept your container when the quarterback made his play to go. They collapsed on him and made a good sack.
That's probably a pretty good bet that Brewer can run for football. And you got to take that option away from him.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing you know when you're facing the Edison team, they may not have the line, but they're going to have some athletes with skill spots.
You got to cover the entire field. They have 4 guys going out now. 2 to each side. Single running back.
Goodwin,
That's
the ball
the
carrier.
number 20, the ball carrier for Edison. That is Keith
Keith
Goodwin.
Goodwin brought down by number 40, Jake
152-pounder junior.
And number
What I noticed about
Aaron
Edison's team, a
Ochoa.
lot of juniors and sophomores playing on their team. This was supposed to be a rebuilding year. They're 6-3 coming in. They tied for first in the NYL. It's really remarkable what Ray Reyes has done there. You consider they lost 21 of their 22 starters from last season.
Yeah, you know, Edison is a program that is similar to, like you said, the BHS rivalry, Edison and BHS, but where they reload. You know, they're going to keep, people are going to go there because they do send players off to Division I colleges, regardless of the records, and people are going to want to come there and be part of that. So they just reload.
The Edison Tigers. Brew up to the line at their own 47-yard line. The option, he's going to keep it. And he'll stop short. Looked like he fumbled forward.
Brewer pitches to number
At any
20,
rate,
Keith
he pitched at the last moment. Still it's a fourth down for Edison. That was definitely a very late pitch. It'd be fourth and a long yard for the Tigers inside their own territory at the 48-yard line. Looks like they're going to punt.
Yeah, and Brewer made a very ill-advised pitch right there. He was already tackled. He had the option to get the ball to the running back. The running back picked it up. He didn't do it, and he tried to pitch it late after he already wrapped up and almost had another turnover.
Chris Jones to do the punting for Edison.
Chris Jones will punt for Edison. Deep to receive for
4:30 to play in the
Stockdale.
first quarter. 3-0 Stockdale Mustangs.
Number 10, Taylor
That's
Ochoa.
a short
Number
field goal by
17,
Warren.
Derek
Stockdale's
Moss.
got a piece of it, a very short punt. Mustangs have to get away from the ball if it will be down at the 25-yard line. First and 10 for Stockdale at that point. You know, I talked to Ray Reyes during the week, the head coach of Edison. He was a parlor prior to coming to Edison. He's been here for 6 years. In the first 2 years, his team's only won one game apiece. And they began to turn it around. They had to change the philosophy, the mindset of the team there. In fact, one of his friends said whoever would apply for the job at Edison was crazy. That friend happened to say that to Ray Reyes. Ray said, I think I like that challenge. I think I'll go for it.
And he's done a good job with his team.
Play action for Patrick Frazier rolling to his right. Throws on a run, it's knocked away. Intended
Patrick
for
Frazier's pass intended for
number 84,
Greg Dabbs.
Ray Dabbs, 6 feet,
Number
215-pounder for the
Nate
Mustangs.
Brown defending on the play.
And then we saw Nate Brown knock the ball away. And that's what I mean. What I think Edison needs to do tonight is put him in a pass situation. You can see right now they have excellent cover guys. But these guys can close on the ball. They may look beat, but it's like the Deion Sanders and the top corners in the NFL where they have the ability to close and knock balls away.
The ball given to Jimmy Watkins to the 25, 30, gets a block. To out the 40-yard line, first down and 10 for Stockdale. Number 3 led a good block for the Mustangs. Bill Wright, the wide receiver.
DJ Wright.
Doing the job downfield.
And that's what I think Stockdale has to do against this Edison team. They have a definite advantage with their size and power, and just pound them. You got them 3 and out the last time. Keep wearing them down. Don't go to their advantage, which is going to be letting their skill players dominate the air.
Stockdale playing physical football here in the first quarter. Play for Frazier. 30-yard line, a pass incomplete to Gibbons. Off his hands, it'd be 2nd and 10. Looked at the Edison starting lineups as far as their defense is concerned. This was sent to me. Mike Ware, the safety for Edison, is a freshman.
Here's the running play right here where Watkins is out there. Makes a good run, cuts it up, and puts his head down and picks up some yards.
We have 2 sophomores on the unit number of juniors. The Edison Tigers. Watkins, flag is down, 45 midfield 15. And driven out of bounds. But a couple of flags were thrown by the officials.
And there was a tackle by Mike Ware, a freshman, in the secondary. So that just tells you the kind of potential he has to be out here as a freshman playing against these guys. And a holding.
Mike Ware's 5'9", 158. We saw him catching punts prior to the game. We were down there on the field preparing for the pregame. 3:25 to play in the first quarter. Stockdale moving in the wrong direction, 3-0 Mustangs. After a 22-yard field goal by Brent Warren.
The call against Stockdale is declined. Blocking below the waist is accepted. That takes the ball back to the Stockdale 25-yard line.
We had 2 penalties on that. The holding was declined, and the blocking below the waist, which is a larger infraction of 15 yards, was taken.
The Mustangs coming in with a record of 7-3 overall. Edison 6-3.
Frazier to pass.
Frazier pass to take to Gibbons. To 35 and out of bounds.
Patrick Frazier's
Of course,
pass complete to Grant
well short of the
Gibbons.
original line of
Gibbons brought
scrimmage.
down by number 1,
Grant
Michael
Gibbons with
Ware.
22 receptions, 477 yards coming in, but 9 touchdowns, which is most impressive.
Yeah, and he has real good hands, good routes. And you
I
saw
think-
right there, Stockdale's going to put the receivers out there and run almost some pick plays to get them open to negate some of the speed by the secondary.
I think Gibbons intercepted a pass in the other game that we did and ran it in for a touchdown. He had a big game against Foothill. Frazier coming to this side.
Pass.
Everybody's covered. Flips it out momentarily. Complete. First down. Bill Wright.
Patrick Frazier's pass.
He was able to
complete
get
number
open.
3, William
Frazier
Wright.
rolling to his left with a
Good
difficult
for a
pass for
first
right-hander.
down.
He hit the open Bill Wright.
Here we have Frazier. He's buying himself some time, and this gives the receiver a chance to get open. You see Edison is covering up the tight end right there. There it is. And I don't care who you are, you can't cover all day long. And Frazier did a good job of buying himself time. We saw him play against Foothill where he did a good job of engineering his team.
He has.
Abel the ball carrier.
Abel again to the 40, 35, 30-yard line. It's a race. Stays on his feet down for 12. Oh, yes. Adam Abel with 437 yards coming in 3 scores.
Michael Ware.
Stockdale with 3 solid runners. We're not sure how much we'll see of Taylor Till in the backfield. He's an outstanding defensive player. Just like that, you know, we've seen a couple of guys run the ball. The quarterback's moving all over the field. He has some fine receivers. But Patrick Frazier's really developed as a fine quarterback, number 7 for Stockdale. And a flag is thrown on the other side. Very difficult rolling to your left like that and throwing a strike.
Yeah, and again, you can see the defensive line for the Edison Tigers. They're down. They're a little tired, and that's what you got to do. You got to pound Edison. They're smaller than you are. They don't have the size to fight you on the running game. Just continue to keep pounding on them. And there's Ware making a touchdown-saving
Illegal
tackle.
participation, the call against Edison.
Illegal participation against Edison. And Stockdale inside the 10-yard line at the 8-yard line.
What do we want?
First and goal for the Mustangs. Martin wide right.
Timeout,
Timeout Edison, their second timeout of the first quarter. 1:53 to play. 3-0 Stockdale. Well, the Mustangs doing what they want to do tonight. Running the football, controlling the clock, pounding Edison inside and out. But it's always important when you keep the football like this, not only to use up the clock, but to score. Stockdale came away with 3 the last time, but Edison's still in pretty good shape. If Stockdale has to go for a field goal again.
And you got to remember when you're playing a team that has big play capability like the Tigers, you want to get as many points on the board and get up on them as quick as possible because they do have the ability to strike fast on one plays. We're seeing the speed that they have. And again, I like the fact that the Mustangs continue to pound the ball on the team that they definitely have an advantage of with their size and their strength. So I really just feel it's a dangerous option to put the ball in the air against these guys. I watched them in the warm-ups. They knocked one ball away, although they get up 2 catches. One was a scramble where they had time, and you can't cover anybody that long, and found a guy open. The other one was on a pick play. So I like the fact that Stockdale can pound them. Now we just keep pounding. And I like to pass the ball, but this situation where you have a definite advantage, and they can't stop the run without bringing more guys to the front, and they haven't done it yet.
Abel the ball carrier.
Abel the ball carrier dives forward to about the 5-yard line.
Adam Abel brought down by number 64, Paul Williams.
Paul Williams with the tackle for the Edison Tigers. That offensive line for Stockdale. Aaron Carr, number 74. The right guard, Aaron Orndorff, 52. Jeff McGuire, number 61, the center. Left guard, Chris Bratton, 66. And Robert Rodriguez, the left tackle, number 60. Paving the way for the running backs. Second and goal from just outside the 6-yard line.
Last time, touch.
Martin White's Watkins in the backfield. Goes inside the 5 to about
Jimmy
the 2-yard
Watkins
line.
picks up a first down before he's
It is a
brought
first
down
down.
at 55. Jonathan
Now we
Clayton.
have a first and goal. And they're inside the 5 at about the 3-yard line. So remember we saw one game this year where BC had a first and goal from the 1 and we're stopped.
Yeah, and it can happen. And what I'm noticing is that when it gets inside the 5, around the 5, Edison changes the defensive package and goes to a 4-4 and bring guys up, and they're getting pressure, and they've had some success having keep him to short run.
Watkins again puts his head down. To the goal line, touchdown, Stockdale Mustangs! There's power football employed by the Stockdale Mustangs. Out to an early lead of 9-0 here late in the first quarter.
You got to give a lot of credit right now to the offensive coordinator for the Mustangs. He's done a good job of running left, running right, running outside, so they keep them off balance. And he's taking advantage. If Edison's going to try to play with 3 down linemen against this team, they're not going to hang in there in the running game.
Well, they have utilized Jimmy Watkins very effectively tonight. Brent Warren's PAT is up and it's good. As he powers it through the uprights. I thought Watkins had been injured. He's not running like he's injured.
Well, they said they thought he might be feeling pretty good tonight, and he's come out in the playoffs and he's come and doing his thing. We saw him do this against Fort Hill. That's what he did most of the part when he was injured. Here he's just a straight lead with the fullback. He's going to power in. Only had about 3 yards to go, and they pick up the touchdown. Well, Mark, I really feel for Edison to stay in this game, they're going to have to go to that 4-4 and bring guys and get some penetration because they cannot sit back.
Right. With
those 3 defensive linemen because they're just too small. And I think that's what, and we know that Frederick has a good job of buying time passing. I think that's also when Stockdale can have some success, real success passing the ball against Edison. When they go to that 4-4 and making the defense come up and blitz and bring guys. With some play action and use the tight end.
I've been talking about Stockdale's offense this year. They have gained over 3,100 yards coming in, scored 236 points, 1,792 on the ground, and 1,385 through the air. So very balanced offense, ranked number 7 in the area. So they have balance on both sides, offense and defense. But as usual, their defense is a key in the playoffs.
Yeah, and defense is going to be a key in any championship drive, but you're going to have some offense to put some points on the board.
Johnny Hodge has returned another one to the 25-30. Has the blocks in front of him. Cuts back midfield 50, stays on his feet. They finally drive him out of bounds deep in Stockdale territory inside the 40-yard line.
And Mark, once again, so they're doing a perfect example of illustrating what I'm talking about is these guys are just dangerous. You cannot, I mean, who you kick a low squibber to the up back, and he can run the ball. You kick it to their deep back, he can run the ball. I mean, you can see their potential to strike. So I don't know what you do on the kickoffs, but that's been their biggest play of offense so far tonight is the kickoff return.
What about if you just kick it deep and towards the side? If you kick it out of bounds, you can't get hurt.
Well, it's better the ball on 35 than to be on your own 37.
First and 10 for Edison in Stockdale territory at the 37-yard line. Burke rolling to his right, just unloads it and completes at the 37-yard line. Double coverage. Number 33 for Edison, Hale. Warren, one of them, 32. We know he's the P18 field goal kicker, but he's an excellent linebacker for Stockdale.
And we also saw Gibbons out here creating pressure on the quarterback to force him to get rid of the ball early. So Gibbons is another guy out here tonight who's playing 2 ways. And, and this is really when you want to show because the scouts are here. The scouts are here at playoff time. They're looking to see his players. You can believe they're going to be out here seeing some Edison players since they had 4 guys go college Division I last year.
Keith Goodwin, the ball carrier.
Number 20, the ball carrier for Edison. Keith Goodwin.
Goodwin
had a very short game.
52, Aaron Orndorff.
Orndorff will tackle 52. And Brent Warren 32. Well, he was in quite a bit tonight. As the first quarter is coming to a conclusion here at Stockdale Stadium. It'll be 3rd and 8. With Stockdale holding a 10-0 lead over Edison. Game 1 of the playoffs, 1999. After 1 quarter, Stockdale 10, Edison nothing. And this is the Prep Football Game of the Week on CNNSI, Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
Oh, no. No. What are you doing? Give me the bat. Stance is all wrong. Check this out. Coming to Papa.
The Saturn wagon. With easy to maintain, dent-resistant doors.
Woo. Good pitch. I'll see you guys later.
I'm Ray Mish, and I know grief comes in many forms. Over the past 40 years, the Mish family has given compassionate, understanding services to thousands of grieving families. The Mish family can provide all needs regardless of your traditions. It may be traditional funeral services or cremation, even counseling for pre-arranged funeral plans. We have 2 locations in Oildale and the Southwest just to help you, and that makes a whole lot of difference.
Okay, it is 4th down for Edison in Stockdale territory to the 35-yard line as we begin the second quarter of action from Mustang Stadium. And we will have our Disney promotion at halftime tonight during our game. Last week the question was, how tall is the Christmas tree in Town Square at Disneyland? How tall is the Christmas tree in Town Square at Disneyland? Well, I did not have my ruler, but I heard it 60 feet tall. The winners were Jeff Holsing and Lisa Muzo, and they have won 2 free passports to Disneyland. Jeff and Lisa, you can pick up your passports from the Time Warner Cable ad sales office anytime, Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 p.m. That's at 3232 Rio Mirada, Suite D2, just behind the Oxford Inn off Buck Owens Boulevard. Or you can call 322-1941, 322-1941. And we will have our next question at halftime tonight.
Well, we got a crucial play right now for Edison. You're down 10-0. You haven't really put together anything. You're going for a 4th. And about 7, you haven't really picked any big yards on your offense. It's been your special teams that's got your yardage.
At the Stockdale 35-yard line, shotgun formation for Brewer. Rolling to his right, looking downfield, fires it. Looks like it's complete. First down for the Tigers.
Number 5, Mike Stamps. Good for a first down.
Well, they come through the clutch play. Mike Stamps the slot back. The junior 5'11", 175.
Mike Stamps out of bounds.
And they're cooking.
And that was a big play. Maybe it might boost their confidence. But the one thing I didn't notice is the Stamps ran a good route. The other receivers ran a good route. So they're going to be disciplined in the passing game. And I just think they're looking for big plays. I think they come out. They're not the best. The line business play. They don't drive the ball too well. But they're going to make some big plays. That's what they're going to try to win with.
1st and 10 for the Tigers at the Stockdale 25.
Goodwin the ball carrier.
Goodwin the ball carry, slips a tackle momentarily, and then goes down at the 23. Good job by number 40 for Stockdale.
Number 40,
Jacob Garnett, who held on and received some help from his Mustang teammates.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. We talked about that. We've seen some people miss some open field tackles, but in open field, nobody says you have to lay the man out. Just grab him. You got to hold on. You hold on. Let your team help you out and get him down.
10-0 Mustangs, but Edison is in Stockdale territory at the 22-yard line thanks to a nice kickoff return. Stockdale's used power football here early in this ball game. Shotgun formation, Brewer to throw. Here comes the rush. They'll run with it, but it gets to about the 22, 23-yard line. And a flag is down, the defensive backfield of Stockdale.
And again, the Mustangs are being very disciplined with their rush. They're not rushing out of control. They're staying in control, and they're folding when he tries to run.
Playing the contained game defensively. Wave it off.
No flag.
It's early to talk about what they're going to have after the game for dinner.
They just want a little TV time.
The Chain King likes that TV time because it takes them a while to go out on the field and to do their thing and come back. Okay, 3rd down for Edison at the Stockdale 27-yard line. Welcome to Goodwin. Nice break to the outside, 20-15. Has the first down, stays on his feet. And Edison continues to be on the move.
That was a great run right there. And I mean, you can see their athletic ability. I mean, that was a beautiful cut in the hole. Makes a guy miss, spins out, and gets people the first down.
Athleticism deployed by the Edison Tigers. 1st and 10 outside the 10-yard line at the 11-yard line in Stockdale territory. And Edison, I feel, has to score on this drive, if not via a touchdown, a field goal.
They got to come away at least 3.
Brewer, the quarterback keeper, the 5-yard line, inside the 5. kind of fooled Stockdale that time.
Nate Brewer
Smart,
brought
and that's
down
one
by
of the few
number
players.
10, Taylor
This is the
Shaw,
only team
and
we've
number
seen do
40,
that.
Jake
Is that
Garnett.
quick snap to the quarterback when everybody else is just sitting still, and they just hike it and go. And I think that's a play that I should team should run more on those little fourth and shorts. As opposed to trying to hand the ball off 6 yards in the backfield.
Those plays take too long to develop. Brewer for Edison, second down. Ball was running back, hit hard in the backfield and driven down.
Met at the line of
Whoa.
scrimmage. Johnny Hunt brought down by
Edison's
number
not going to
1,
have much
Aaron
success running against
Ochoa.
the Mustang defense up the middle
Ochoa.
like that. Whew.
We have two Ochoas on defense. Brent Warren, inside linebacker number 32. Aaron Ochoa, number 1, is an ILB. Aaron Orndorff, defensive tackle number 52, along with Rocky Rodriguez, number 60. McGuire, number 61. Grant Gibbons, number 8. Third down for Edison. Brewer rolling to his left. Looking to the end zone. Flips it out. Touchdown, Edison.
Brewer's pass complete to
Number 15, Jonathan Holland. Good size at 6'1", 164. We have a ball game.
Yeah, we do. 10-6 now, so I haven't picked the extra point yet. But you're seeing right there that Edison's going to try to use his speed, get to the outside. I think that's what they're going to have the success at. Going up the middle and trying to pound the ball, I don't think they'll have anything coming. But if they can move the quarterback out, give him some time, and let his athletes run away from people,
Number 18,
that's what they're going to do. And they've probably done it all year. We haven't seen them on film, so we don't know exactly what they do. But they did a good job on that series.
Chris Jones with a PAT. Looks beautiful. It's up and it's good. 10-7, 8:53 to play in the second quarter. Edison back in the ball game against the Mustangs. Thanks to that long kickoff return, which set them up in good field position.
And here's Brewer rolling out right here. He's going to throw it out. There's a touchdown.
And Edison only down by 3 points to Stockdale right now. Now Stockdale's dominated as far as time of possession, but they're only up by 3 points.
Yeah, and again, that's an example of Edison's big play capability because most of their plays were over 10 yards long when they did get a successful play. They didn't have many short runs and grind the ball out.
Grant Gibbons at number 17, Derek Martin deep to receive.
And Mark, we have two kickers tonight because I believe the Edison kicker can also kick.
Chris Jones will kick.
We've seen some good kickers this year throughout the area. We've seen some very good kickers. Well, after Stockdale scored the last time they had the ball, Edison had that long kickoff in the Stockdale territory, so that was a very short drive. Only about 40 yards. Nobody's kicking the ball deep tonight yet. Derek Martin takes it to the 10-yard line across the 20, 25, and down to 26. And we will see if Edison just hits a little bit harder on this defensive series against Stockdale. When a team usually gets on the board, it seems to pump up and juice up their defense.
Well, they might juice them up, but if they stay with 3 guys, they're not going to hang out here tonight against this running attack. They have to come up more than 3 down linemen. They have to put some people in that box. They have to go 8 and 9-man front.
First and 10 for Stockdale. Flag. Eric Cole. Defensive for Edison, number 12. Jonathan Schrettrin, number 10. Edmund Stanfield, number 62. Chuck Norman, number 24. Cecil Hill, number 34. C.J. Anderson, 44. Mike Beard, number 8. Nate Brown, number 4. Johnny Hodge, number 27. Number 3, Aaron Miller. Number 1, Mike Ware on D for Edison. That's the second time they've had illegal participation in this game.
Yeah, they've had 12 men on the field twice, and now they're getting somebody. They're getting a man off.
Right, they didn't have 12 men on the field. Standing with 4, if not 5, down linemen.
And that's what we're seeing. This is the first series we've seen except for goal line where they're going with 4 down linemen. They're going to have to. As you see now, they have 5. There's the 5th one coming in the picture.
Watkins hit hard to about the 33-yard line, driven back.
Jimmy Watkins
Anderson
down by number 44, C.J. Anderson.
C.J. Anderson, number 32 for Edison, also there.
That's one of the few times, with the exception of goal line defense, where they have stopped the Stockdale backs within 2 or 3 yards. And here they are right now. They're going to come up and just fill the hole and make a nice tackle for a short gain of about 3 yards.
And where was it on that tackle? Number 1. Watkins to the left side. Had a very short game.
Jimmy Watkins.
But it should be a first down for Stockdale.
Eric Cole, but not before picking up a first down.
They're helped by that penalty against Edison. First and 10 for Stockdale at their own 38-yard line. 10-7 Stockdale here in the second quarter. You know, we talked about Ware, number 1. If he's a freshman, he's a heck of a player. He made a lot of tackles so far tonight.
And he's back there as a safety, which is a critical position.
Frazier to throw, comes the rush, fires it incomplete. Great coverage by the Tigers. Gibbons, the intended receiver. Scott Anderson over there.
On the play.
And there's the freshman Ware's coming over late, and you can see their ability on the pat. They go to the ball quick.
Put a nice rush on Frazier, the quarterback for Stockdale. 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs. Now the Mustangs, in using a power game, would like to tire out Edison as this game wears on, especially in the second half. But after scoring that touchdown, Edison seems to be refreshed, invigorated on defense. Frazier to throw. Martin over there, he's got it. First down, out of bounds. And he's inside Edison territory at the 49-yard line. Derek Martin, number 17 for Stockdale. Nice, crisp pattern, great pass.
Yeah, and that's great recognition by the offensive coordinator, seeing that they have 8 men trying to stop the run now. So you're going to have some space in the offense, and they're running away from the safety. They know the safety's coming down, making coverage on that slot receiver, so they're going to hit the ways to go. So they're doing some play action to hold the linebackers, and they're rolling out, and they're hitting open receivers.
That was a good route, and the path was right on the mark. Ochoa to about the 45-yard line in Edison territory. 7:30 plus to play in the second quarter, 10-7 Stockdale. So we saw from Jimmy Watkins quite a bit in the first quarter. Maybe we'll see more from Taylor Ochoa here in quarter number 2. Adam Abel had one long run for Stockdale, which set him up for one of their scores. Mustangs 7-3 overall, Edison 6-3. Edison was 4-1 in the North Yosemite League. They were co-champs. Stockdale 3-1 in the Southwest Yosemite League. Martin on the reverse, hitting the backfield, thrown down to 45. Edison was not fooled that play. Chris Scott making the tackle. It seemed to be very difficult to run wide on Edison because they have a lot of speed.
Yeah, and what you saw right there is their ability to pursue the ball, but also it's going to be hard to run now when you have eight guys in that box area. When you have 8 guys within about 10 yards from the inside 10 yards, 9 yards actually between the tackles, in that box like that, it's very hard to run. There's not a lot of room to run.
Play action. Frazier rolling to his left. Decides to run it to the 40-yard line. 35 has a first down for the Mustangs. Apparently, Patrick Frazier saw something he liked and went back to pass. Something just igniting him. He accelerated.
Yeah, what ignited him was he had nobody open. And then he takes off. And that's an example of the defensive line not being disciplined and just worried about the rush when you lose contain and the quarterback breaks upfield and picks up a big first down.
He was running for his life, in other words.
Great play by Frazier.
And Stockdale in Tiger territory at the 35-yard line. Frazier, Taylor Ochoa running hard. 40 to 30. Look at him run to the 25. Inside the 25 to the 21. Taylor Ochoa running like a runaway train.
Picks up a first down before he's brought down by number 1, Michael
Great play run by Ochoa, and that's what they've been missing when he's been injured. And we've seen Watkins and Ochoa, they've been a great 1-2 tandem. But also, you see what happened the first time that the Edison Tigers kind of relaxed and took a guy out that box. The running game opens up.
Ochoa and Watkins run hard. 5:40 to play second quarter. So Ochoa to the right side to the 20, tripped up and down to the 17-yard line.
Taylor Ochoa brought down by number 27,
number 34
Johnny Hodge.
For the tackle also. Cecil Hale and Johnny Hodge, 27 for the Tigers. Stuck with the ball at the 22-yard line in Edison territory. Under midway to go in the first half. 10-7 Mustangs.
Now those last couple of runs going off tackle and going outside, the defensive ends there for the Edison Mustangs are losing their contain, and the Mustangs are able to get outside a little bit on them.
Patrick Frazier looking over the defense. Watkins up the middle. Powers his way to about the 11-yard line. He'll be close to that first down marker. Very close. This thing just short. 3rd. And a little to go for the Mustangs. But they have the kind of running backs where this is a perfect play for them, whether it be Watkins or Ochoa.
Yeah.
They hit the hole very quickly.
And that big run by Frazier set this up because now you're seeing the Edison defense is tired because they have played a lot of defense in this first half.
3rd and short for the Mustangs. Ochoa has a first down inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line. Taylor Ochoa gets a call.
And then you see some temper starting to flare, and right now it's not where you want to get a penalty for some extra pushing, extra hitting late. Keep the composure. This is playoff time. You can't afford those big 15-yard penalties on either team.
But in a sense, there will be players on both teams that might be a little hotter than usual because there's so much at stake. 4-10 in the play. Derek Martin wide to the left. Ochoa, Watkins in the backfield behind Patrick Frazier. Watkins has the ball to the 10, catches on 5, touchdown, Stockdale Mustangs! Taylor Ochoa leading the charge. Watkins just took it in, right off the block.
And that's why people want to know why you need to have a running game. That's exactly why. They're reaping the dividends now of a tired, worn-out defense. By the time Edison started to go to 5, defensive linemen and put the 8 guys in the box, they didn't go with the big stop on 3rd down. They're tired. They've been worn out the first quarter, and then now they're starting to get gaping holes again.
That was definitely a big hole. Ochoa got it going on that series.
And here's Watkins running in off of Ochoa leading through, and there's nobody to touch him, and they just wore down the Tiger defense right there.
There's a kick by Warren. Looks better this time. It's good. Mustang 17, Edison 7. With only 4 minutes and 1 second left to play in the first half. The Stockdale has done pretty much what they have wanted to do tonight. They've executed their offense extremely well. Using power football, primarily running between the tackles. As you mentioned, Patrick Frazier had a big run from pressure that time for a first down. They've thrown in a pass here and there, so they've utilized a lot of balance in their attack. Edison has not had a clue as to how to stop Stockdale tonight.
When they have had success, somehow the Mustangs have put off a big play because Edison did a real good job all but one play. And that one play was that big run by Frazier to get the first down, because other than that, they had stifled them with the 5-man front and making some good contact on the running backs. So now they're tired. They give up a touchdown. They're down 17-7. But again, now it's danger time again. I say try to kick the ball all the way out of the end zone. In high school, you cannot run the ball once it goes to the end zone, because if you give them a chance to run it, they've showed some big play capability on these returns.
Well, the Mustangs lost by 5 to Centennial last week. They had an early lead throughout the game in the defensive struggle. Tonight, against a slightly weaker defensive team, their offense is getting in gear. Most games will be decided in the second half. 17-7. As the ball comes to Edison. Number 3 for return to the 30-yard line. Great move to the outside, thrown down. That'd be Aaron Miller. Plays both ways. Edison is split it out in defensive back.
Yeah, and Miller's, when I was talking to the coaching staff earlier before the game, Miller's one of the players they say has definitely Division I potential. Fast guy, makes big plays, and he's a smart player, they said. So they expect big things from Miller.
The Stockdale on defense with under 4 minutes to play in the first half. So what Bruin Company can do at their own 34-yard line.
And Mark Miller's another one of those guys you're talking about is just a sophomore, so.
Oh. Got some outstanding young people. They're a quarterback. Going to the outside as a first down or more. Midfield 50 and down to the 49. A flag is down. And it might come back for Edison. It's a clip against the Tigers. That will nullify about a 17-yard run.
And that's an unnecessary clip because the man was already 5 yards by you. You got to know with your speed, that's when he plays going to catch him. Once he gets by you, let him go.
When a player with that speed gets the ball, you hardly have to even block your man. Just kind of get in front of them, provide some defense. Lay off, you don't have to hold them up very long. Just try to provide a barrier of sorts.
You just want to kind of just shield him.
Yeah.
You know, especially when he moves so well. when he's running the ball. That's another good one we've seen. That he's going to make you look good as a blocker many times because he's going to set your guy up with his dipping and then bouncing it and turning on the afterburner.
3:44 to play in the first half. 17-7 Stockdale over Edison on CNNSI. Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
I'm Ray Mish, and I know grief comes in many forms. Over the past 40 years, the Mish family has given compassionate, understanding services to thousands of grieving families. The Mish family can provide all needs regardless of your traditions. It may be traditional funeral services or cremation, even counseling for pre-arranged funeral plans. We have 2 locations in Oildale and the Southwest just to help you, and that makes a whole lot of difference.
It's 3rd and long for Edison with 2:48 to play in the first half. 17-7 Stockdale. Brewer, quarterback for the Tigers. 2 receivers to each side. Twin out right. Here comes the pressure for Stockdale. And they will throw him down at the 5-yard line.
Great play there by the Mustangs. And you got to give the Mustang coaching staff credit. They know they have a superior advantage over the linemen, and they're bringing their guys. They're not giving them a chance to sit back and throw the ball to one of those athletes and let them make a great play tonight.
Danny Pruitt, Brent Warren in the quarterback's face, and it looked like Edison was somewhat baffled by that particular play. They didn't execute it very well. I wasn't sure if Brewer was going to take the ball from the shotgun or from the tee. Obviously, his blocking was not there against Stockdale. 2:35 to play, and the Mustangs have a chance to get the ball back in very good field position.
Yeah, and it gets a worn-down defense, too, so I look for them to try to put one more score on the board, at least 3.
Of course, the problem is when you have 4 guys going out, you don't have too many people in front of you trying to block.
No,
they didn't do much of a job blocking on that particular play.
Yeah, when you
he
have
was surrounded.
Those 4 guys, somebody has to be running short as almost a safety valve player for you so he can catch the ball to relieve the pressure. But Edison has not had any success on the straight drop back. By the time he's dropping back, Mustang defenders are in his face. The only time he's really had some time is when he's rolled out.
They just seem to be a little confused as to what they're going to run on that play. And it showed in the execution, a lack of execution. The punt off the side of the foot. Martin lets it roll. It takes a Stockdale bounce. There's a flag as it's down at the 31-yard line in Edison territory. We'll see what the flag is all about.
Punt was down at the
they're going to have great field position.
Line.
Who do you think that would be against?
I have no idea, but we saw in that last series how crucial penalties are. You took the game to first down and you went going 1st and 25. And now we're seeing Stockdale lose some good field position right here for a clipping.
How can you have clipping, Brian, on a punt that nobody's even trying to catch?
Because you still have the players that are on the return team still blocking. Not all of them see the wave off, because if you're on the he caught the ball on the far left side. If you're on the right side, you're not seeing the wave off. You're still down there trying to block, and that can happen.
Well, that was a very short punt off to the right side. In fact, it wasn't even close to Martin, the return man. It was in front of him by 10 yards. And took a Stockdale bounce. Edison will punt again. They pick up some yards, but it's still 4th down.
And I'm confused on why they went back and they're punting over, because the clipping had to be after the ball was in. It should have been moved from the. You would think the penalty would have been from where the spot occurred. The foul occurred, not a repunt.
4th and 18 for Edison. I wonder if we're going to pass out of this. Stockdale coming. The ball is partially blocked. Very short. Takes a Stockdale bounce again. Knocked down. at the 37-yard line in Edison territory.
And I'm confused about that formation from Edison. You moved 4 guys out. I understand having 2 guys out, but you move 4 guys out, you don't go for the fake, and you just allow free rushers to come in. That's twice the ball's been nicked.
Well, the Mustangs have been putting a lot of pressure on their punter throughout the game. 2 guys coming from the outside, not even being blocked, and that punt was partially blocked. They had another one that was partially blocked.
And conventional thinking says when that's happening, you bring everybody in and do a safe punt, but
unless you're trying to trick play. 1st and 10. Frazier to throw. Out of pattern looking for Martin. Here comes the pressure. He fires it complete at the 25-yard line. It should be a 1st down for the Mustangs and close to it.
And right there again, Frazier made a bad play good. He bought himself some pressure, avoided a sack. And we've seen Martin there make also good play. He ran the out and up. They didn't bite on it. They ate it up, but he stopped and helped his quarterback out. Those 2 heads-up plays.
Great receivers have to help the quarterbacks out. He's a very smart player. Martin, number 17, runs very solid patterns. 2:11 to play. 1st and 10 for Stockdale. Frazier rolling to his left, looking downfield. Fires it for Martin. Nice catch. Is he out of bounds or is it good?
I look like he dropped the ball. Ball's on the ground.
He must have been out of bounds. Nice effort by Derek Martin and Patrick Frazier. 2nd and 10 for Stockdale.
Well, you know, with the exception of a couple of passes, you know, the Edison Tigers have not been close. I thought they would be, but the Mustangs are doing a good job of running away from the coverage, knowing the coverage from the inside, going outside away from it, giving their receiver a chance to get open.
The Mustangs at the Edison 25-yard line. Here comes the rush. Pass over Moga, incomplete. And intended for Grant Gibbons on a post. Ware was back there for Edison. And Frazier had to load it a little bit early, thanks to a pressure put on him by the Edison Tigers D.
You know, and that's what I think Edison's going to have to do is let your cover men cover and put some pressure on the quarterback, because if he sits back, he'll pick him apart, because you can't cover a guy forever. I don't care who you are.
At 3rd and 10 for the Mustangs. Receivers to each side. Achone in the backfield, play action. Frazier to throw. Here comes the pressure. Gets away momentarily to the 20-yard line. Has the bounce to the 17. Patrick Frazier did a great job staying on his feet. He is very quick, very elusive in that backfield.
Yes, he is. And right now, the defensive line for Edison is they're not giving the cornerbacks the support they need. The cornerback's doing a good job so far, not doing it many times, having good coverage, except for a few plays. And then their D linemen are not just making the plays and making the tackles, and they have a chance to make some big plays and set the Mustangs back.
Looks like we're going to have a field goal attempt by Brent Warren. This will be a 35-yarder. He hit a 22-yarder earlier in the ball game. Snap, high snap, line drive. It's good. He just has a great leg.
Yeah.
That was a high snap. Frazier put it down, and Warren busted it through.
And that's going to be a crucial part in your playoff run, is with a kicker who has a leg like that, because those are chip shots almost from 35 yards out. We know he can kick I think he can try to kick the ball 50 yards easy.
Yeah, very strong leg. Well, Stockdale 20, Edison 7. 1:14 to play in the first half. Stockdale's putting points on the board. They're doing the job.
That's what you're going to have to do in playoff time. You got to put points on the board, and you got to play great defense, and that's what they're doing. You know, right now they haven't allowed the big play people for Edison to make the plays on offense, those 60, 70-yard pass plays, or those running plays like that. So they're doing a great job, have a great game plan, and the young men tonight are following the game plan, and they're executing.
Warren tonight has a 22-yarder and a 35-yarder. So that's 6 of the points. So it'll be 20-7. And hopefully the score will remain like that after 2 quarters in favor of the Mustangs. They look pretty good tonight going into halftime, but anything can happen in the second half.
Yeah, and this is the team that we saw that we liked when we was Foothill, but they had some key injuries during that stretch after that didn't enable them to do the things that we see them doing tonight that we believe they could do. And that I know that I liked after we're talking about our game. We've talked about it. The ability they have a balanced offensive attack. They can pass the ball, they can run the ball, and they play great defense.
Yes, they struggled against Highland and South High in back-to-back games, but Watkins and also Cho were injured throughout some of those games. They lost some of their offensive punch. Ball kicked off by the Mustangs. Ware takes it on the far side. 30, 40-yard line still in bounds. Where did he step out?
Steps out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
45-yard line.
These guys are fun to watch on these return plays. I'm telling you, they have some ability, and I mean, the coaching staff has a lot to look forward to with these young guys like Ware and Miller making plays like this.
And a Stockdale defense out there with 1:04 to play in the first half, nursing a 20-7 lead over Edison. Now the Tigers definitely have some big play people on their team, so they could do quite a bit with very little. Wide left for the Tigers. Daniel Brandon. Burr to throw, midfield 50. Complete a very short game. Stamps for the reception.
And right there, Stamps made a good catch, but the one thing he didn't do is, you're only catching a quick out, just run out of bounds and stop the clock and get lined back up.
Burr rolling to his right. Gibbons putting pressure on him, and he will throw him down. Way back at the 35-yard line. Gibbons forced him inside.
Yeah.
That's a major loss.
And again, we've seen that Brewer has not had much time rolling out or dropping back, and their situation is he has to be ready to get rid of that ball. He has a guy out in the flats. He may not be open, but you can't afford to take a sack. He has to launch that over this man's head and just get rid of it. He's not ready to throw the ball sometimes when he's rolling out because he's not used to the pressure probably that the Mustangs are providing tonight.
We've seen the likes of Brent Warren this year at 6 feet 215, and I really like Gibbons at 6'1", 195, and I'm thinking about his potential for playing college football and what his position would be. Would you look at him more as a strong safety at his size?
At his size, he shows that he has the ability to have some mobility. That would be a good spot for him to look at as a strong safety, and also an underestimated position that people do not look at as far as special teams. He'd be a great guy for the college level on special teams. And also, I mean, a lot of guys make their living and they make a lot of money just being special teams. They go down, they make tackles, and they bust up wedges.
Kamikaze guys.
You know, and those guys in that 6'1", 6'2", 2, you know, and he's going to put up more weight on his frame.
Right.
220, 230, 240.
Four receivers wide to the left, Brian, for Edison. On 3rd and long. Brewer from the shotgun. Long on the right sidelines, incomplete. As Stockdale had 3 defenders over there. Brewer just unloaded it.
Yeah.
To number 3 for Edison.
And the Edison coaching staff may not be aware of the leg that Warren has as a kicker. This is a dangerous thing to go for right now. 15 seconds, you're down 27. You know, if I'm coaching, I think I'm kicking the ball. You know, I'm not going to take a chance on an interception or anything like that.
I think they will punt it, but hopefully they'll have more blockers than to protect the punter.
Well, I think they should go to protect the punter formation as opposed to having 4 guys out there with no protection.
Twice tonight they had illegal participation penalties. Well, they had 12 people on the field. That's unusual to happen in the 10th game of the year. Chris Jones to punt. And I don't know if it's a delay of game or not. Too much time delay of game against Edison.
Yeah.
Which is no big deal. 15 seconds to play in the first half. It's Stockdale 20, Edison 7.
And you can see that they have adjusted. They brought their guys in to protect the punter on this one. They cannot afford for a block punt right now.
Martin and Ochoa deep for Stockdale. The ball's punted. It's over the punter's head. He tries to get it. Fakes a punt the 5-yard line to the 10. Looking for a block downfield. Gets it to the 30-yard line. Out of bounds at the 35. Unbelievable. As the ball was snapped over the punter's head, Chris Jones went back to the end zone to retrieve it.
But there's 1 second left, and Warren's going to have an opportunity to kick a field goal. Or they might have a chance to throw the ball in for a touchdown.
He's able to get the ball to about the 35-yard line. So Jones did a great job for Edison. That could have been disastrous. He showed his running ability and had some blocks downfield.
Yeah, and
they took to the 35-yard line.
And there's a good, strong wind behind them, but it looks like they're not going to try it. But there's a 52-yard, 50-something yard field goal. Warren has the leg to do it.
We think Warren does have the leg to do it.
You know, with the wind behind, it would be a good opportunity, but they might try to throw it in the end zone and score one. You know, Hail Mary like Cleveland Browns. Woo!
Bill Wright, Martin White to the right. Frazier to throw. Here comes the pressure. He will run it 35, 30, slips to the 27-yard line. That will do it for the first half. Score Stockdale 20, Edison 7. And you are watching the Prep Football Game of the Week right here on CNNSI, Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
Hello, I'm Lawrence Stroop from Century 21 Stroop Realtors, and I'd like to invite you to watch our home preview show on Tuesdays through Friday at 7 p.m. and on Saturdays at 1 p.m. That's on Channel 11. It's a showcase of homes for sale in and around Kern County with a description of the home, its location, an estimate on the monthly payment, interest rates, and cash to close. It's shopping from the convenience of your own home, so tune in to Century 21 Stroop Realtors home preview show and find the home of your dreams.
The score at halftime from Mustang Stadium into Stockdale 20, and Edison High has 7 first round of the Yosemite Division Central Section playoffs in the small school division. Stockdale using their power game tonight to gain this advantage. They have basically done whatever they have wanted with Edison Tigers, but of course 2 quarters are to play. Okay, now for tonight's trivia question. The first person to call with the correct answer wins 2 free passports to Disneyland. The question is, which popular Disney character plays Santa at Disneyland during the holiday season? Which popular Disney character plays Santa at Disneyland during the holiday season? For your answer, give us a call right now at 634-2294. 634-2294. And leave us your answer. Good luck. We will announce the winners during next week's Valley Playoff game right here on CNNSI, Time Warner Cable, Channel 52. Which popular Disney character plays Santa at Disneyland during the holiday season? Call us right now. Leave us your answer, 634-2294. At a score at halftime, it's Stockdale 20, Edison 7. You're watching the Prep Football Game of the Week on CNNSI, Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
Renegade football on Time Warner Cable. Catch all the Bakersfield College home games exclusively on CNNSI, Channel 52. Sunday nights at 8:30 p.m. with encore showings on Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. following high school football. Hard-hitting, high-scoring, that's BC football. Brought to you by Motor City and Mish Funeral Home.
And as we enter the second half of play tonight from Mustang Stadium on the campus of Stockdale High School, it is Stockdale 20, Edison 7. Some wind and light rain that hit us late in the second quarter and through the halftime. But the field should be in fine shape.
Yeah, it's not enough to make the field sloppy or the ball that slippery. You know, nothing the quarterback keeps his hands dry, should be okay to throw the ball.
Well, according to some of the stats that we heard, Stockdale had over 240 yards in total offense in the first half. Edison was credited with only 31.
Well, you know, it might be a little low, but even though they had that one drive, that one series they had some yards, they have had a few sacks and lost of yardage, so they don't have much close to 100, though.
And on the one touchdown, of course, it was set up by a long kickoff return by the Tigers deep into Stockdale territory, so that drive was less than 40 yards.
Yeah, and then you have a couple of sacks where he
They've
lost
had quite a
15.
few negative yardage, yes.
So 31 yards, 40, 50 yards might be about right tonight.
Well, it looks impressive, but the main thing, of course, is to win the ball game. That's what this is all about for either team. Whoever wins continues on. Whoever loses, their season is over with. Yeah. Stockdale coming in with a record of 7-3, and Edison was 6-3. Edison, the co-champs of the North Yosemite League, and Stockdale in second place behind Centennial in the Southwest Yosemite League, losing by 5 points last week.
Yeah, you know, that was a tough game for them, close game. Like you said, they were ahead for a little bit, and you know, they just haven't figured a way to pull it off against Centennial, but one day the ball's going to bounce right and they'll beat them.
They've been getting close the last 2 years.
Stockdale
won the first encounter when they were both in the South School League. Then Centennial won 3 games by fairly lopsided margins, but the last 2 years the games have been very tight.
Yeah. You know, and I've been impressed with the Foothill game, but also I'm really impressed with the discipline of the Stockdale players. They execute. They have good execution. You know, they have the coaching staff comes with good game plans. You know, I like Coach Marquand's style of being open. You know, he's not coming out here and doing anything foolish. He knows there's a running advantage. He's doing that, and he's passing the ball when he needs to pass it, and keeping Edison defense honest.
Edison will defend the north goal.
I like to be out in the wind.
You know, but and I said I was impressed with Stockdale when they beat Foothill, and I just like the. Looks to me that they do whatever it takes to win. If it's passing the ball, they'll pass the ball. If it's running the ball, they'll run it. And that's, you're going to have success, and they can put points on the board.
Now that game, the Mustangs were coming off a lopsided defeat to Tallahassee the week before. I think it was 41-6 in a game in which they committed 6 or 7 turnovers.
Yeah, and
it was the worst performance of the year.
Yeah, and I don't care who you are. If I turn the ball over 6 times to a team that I'm even supposedly have a great advantage over, I'm going to make the game rough for me. Either we lose decisively or we lose close.
I think it's not so much the fact that you turn the ball over, it's where you turn the ball over. If you turn the ball over inside your 30-yard line, that's going to be devastating. Or if you're going for a score, if you turn the ball inside the red zone, it's going to be devastating to your team, whether the offense or defense.
0. Centennial 33, Monachi 7.
Just hearing a few scores here.
Dinuba 7.
We get ready for the second half kickoff, Brian. Stockdale has a 20-7 lead at the half. Edison has a big play people, but their line cannot match up with the size and intensity of Stockdale.
Yeah, and Stockdale's negated that ability to use the big plays by putting some pressure on the quarterback, and when they have run the ball, getting those guys up there and taking advantage of the inferior linemen.
Nobody has kicked one deep tonight. Gibbons takes to the 20-yard line. Hit at the 21, stays on his feet, and thrown down by 3 Edison Tigers inside the 20-yard line. Wright and company for Edison. Stockdale will have a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. As we begin the 3rd quarter of play, which I feel is the most important quarter in football. A lot of people say the 4th quarter is, but this is very important if the game is within 7 points or 10 points. Whoever comes out with the intensity gets going. Watkins to the 20-25, great straight arm, and thrown down to the 30-yard line. And he should have a first down. That's not going to happen in the 1st quarter.
And that's what they're going back to. They're going back to the running game, and they found a weakness against those 5 defensive linemen, and it's to go outside because they have not had contained yet. Even against the passing game, when the quarterbacks were rolling out Frazier, that those defensive ends have not got contained.
Really have a lot of difficulty with their size trying to contain Stockdale. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs as Watkins again. Heads the 31-yard line and driven sideways. It'll be 2nd and long for the Mustangs. Great crowd on hand for Stockdale High School. Edison on the far side. The Tigers from Fresno, they compete in the Northeast Summit League. They were co-champs with Bullard. One of 3 teams to defeat them this year. The others were Arroyo Grande from the Central Coast and Washington Union, east of Fresno. Taylor Cho in the backfield behind Patrick Frazier. 2 receivers wide to the right. Frazier rolling out to his right. Gets a block from Cho in the back to the pass. Complete to Gibbons. First down for Stockdale. And knocked out of bounds. Called the 45-yard line of Mustang territory.
And again, that's an example of how I was talking about the Mustang offense is negating the speed of the secondary as they're running away from the coverage. The secondary people are sitting inside on those inside receivers, the slot and the tight end, and you can't sit that far inside because there's too much room on the out with that rollout on the easy pass connections.
That's Taylor Ochoa. Puts his head down. Bowls his way inside midfield to the 47. There's a fumble. Ball drops about 1 yard behind him. And the Mustangs are saying they still have the ball. Ochoa running hard. Edison trying to strip the ball away, come up with a turnover.
And that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to get some big plays from the defense and from the offense to get back in this game, because right now the Mustangs is going to try to just run this game out and just run them out.
2 at that clock. 10 minutes plus to play in the third. 20-7 in favor of Stockdale. Receivers to each side. There's Watkins to the outside. 45-40. They're going to run. First down for Stockdale. Power football once again by the Mustangs, number 74.
And again, they're going outside, Mark, because they're not going to fool around with those guys stuck in the front of the line. They're going outside. And also, if we watch Edison line up, as you can see on your screen if you're at home, they're now, everybody's coming up. Their safeties are coming up close because they're in a desperate situation right now. They cannot afford to let another touchdown down this board.
Darren Carr, number 74, 6'4", 240, leading the way on that play. There's Watkins again. Powers his way to about the 37-yard line. As they're running right, now left. The Mustangs want to be a physical football team. And they're showing that way tonight and also throughout this year. That's why they're competing with Centennial.
Yeah, and I think when you have some linemen that are physical and they can block, you have to use that as your advantage. But, you know, you also got to be balanced, and you can look at the numbers, that they're a balanced team, and that's what their success is going to come from, is your offensive.
Second down for the Mustangs at the Edison 37-yard line. Frazier to throw under heavy duress, fires it incomplete.
Frazier's pass intended for number 3, William Wright.
Watkins almost moved forward prior to the snap. In fact, the ref was looking for his flag, decided not to throw it.
And that's the first time they kept contained there on Frazier. And Frazier did a good job of getting rid of the ball. And that's what I was talking about, example of just throw the ball over your receiver's head. You're throwing it at him. You're not going to get an intentional grounding call. And you also don't cause a turnover trying to force the ball somewhere.
Mark Hansen, the Stockdale Mustangs. Going to move to the second round of the Yosemite Division playoffs. Did Edison move across, or would they pull across? As flags are down, the officials will talk it over. As they're talking about offside Edison Tigers. They'll pick up 5 yards from the Mustangs. They'll be very close to that first down marker. 8:58 to play in the third. Stockdale trying to add to their 20-7 advantage. Hard light to the right. Ochoa has the first down. Inside the 30-yard line to about the 28. Here comes a late flag, probably a late hit or a personal foul penalty.
And it might be on Martin out there. So there was an Edison man on the ground knocked down, and the flag came right by there. It might be a personal foul if it is.
Personal foul call against
15 yards, and we talked about that earlier. You got to keep your emotions in check. You want to go to the whistle. The plays, you got to write down some short yardage play. You're out there, you just don't want to go overboard. You know, right now, those 15 yards backed up against your team.
That's true. Ochoa got the first down on running play, and this was well after the whistle. Personal foul against Stockdale. And they're back to the Edison 44-yard line.
The personal foul took place after the first down, and so it will be first
Talk
down
about a dead ball foul.
from the 44-yard line.
What it was. Ochoa to the 45, back to the 43-yard line, running right, cutting back left.
Taylor Ochoa drawn down by number 55.
The former Stockdale quarterback David Carr in the stands tonight for Stockdale High School. He now competes at Fresno State, the Bulldogs. They're playing San Jose State this weekend as they close out the regular season. David Carr had a great career at Stockdale. They've had some fine quarterbacks in this young school.
Yes, they have. And got to give Mark Hansen and staff a lot of credit.
Frazier getting away from the rush to the 40-yard line, thrown down to 38. As the Tigers run, doing a great job covering the receivers downfield.
Yeah, you know, with the exception of a few plays, the Tigers secondary has done a good job of covering the receivers, but the defensive line, we said earlier, has not done a good job of collapsing and keeping to short games. And that's the first time they did it right there.
A third down about 4 for the Mustangs. In Edison territory. The Tigers and the Mustangs, round 1 of the playoffs. There's Watkins in the backfield. Great tackle. by number 77 for Edison. Fourth down coming up for Stockdale.
Down by number 77,
Jesse Fretwell, 6 feet, 175, but excellent penetration by him and had to tackle a big man.
And that's how you stop the big man from going. You don't let him get downfield to run him because he's coming downhill. You hit him early, tackle in the backfield, and you the first punt tonight.
You get them before they start to accelerate. Watkins does not normally go down with one tackle, especially in the backfield, but a key play for the Tigers defensively. As Brent Warren will punt from his own 45-yard line on 4th and 5. He's had a couple of field goals. Kicks it to the right side out of bounds. Excellent pooch punt. Call it down to the 3-yard line. Brent Warren, besides being an excellent linebacker, has kicked a couple of field goals and has a great punt.
And there he puts them in the coffin corner right there. And that's the kind of play, if you're Edison, you didn't want to see. And if you're Stockdale, the ball's just bouncing right for you tonight.
That certainly is on their home stadium, Mustang Stadium. The Stockdale trying to improve the record to 8-3 this year and eliminate Fresno Edison from the playoffs. Drew at quarterback for Edison. Deep in their own territory at the 3-yard line. Given the company on defense.
Terrell Hale, the ball carrier.
Hale, the ball carrier for Edison.
Hale brought down by number 60, Rocky Rodriguez.
Rocky Rodriguez.
And then you just have a basic dive, trying to get some room for you, create some room to at least make a play to get out the end zone.
Nate Brewer, the quarterback for Edison. Fullback, Terrell Hale. Number 33, Johnny Hodge, also 27. They have 3 receivers out this time. Brewer rolling to his right. Short pass incomplete. Threw it very badly.
Brewer's pass intended for number 17, Brandon Daniel. The ball falls
incomplete. To the opposite side.
And he had him open on the short passing game and threw it behind him, and that would have been another good little gain if he could have put it where the receiver could have caught it.
I think they should run the option with Brewer. Looks like he's more comfortable running the ball and throwing it.
Yeah, he's going to be a versatile quarterback. He's been off the mark a little bit. He also has had time either. We've seen this year quarterbacks don't have time. They don't look as good as they do when they have a little time.
Rolling to his right, his pass well incomplete. Fine for the out pattern to number 5, Mike Stamps for Edison. Not even close. On a coverage for Stockdale, number 10, that was Taylor Ochoa. Outside linebacker, 4th down for Edison. And the Mustangs should have excellent field position, regardless of whether or not they have a run back. Yeah. Taylor Ochoa and Derek Martin are back deep.
And the last snap we seen went over the head of the punter, so this could be a dangerous play right here.
Scott did a great job running it back to the 35-yard line as they pick up some blockers downfield. Scott kicks it away, end over end, comes to Martin at the 40-yard line, running left. Great block, 35 to the 30, that's inside 25 to the 20, and there. First down for Stockdale at the Edison 20-yard line.
Martin brought down by the punter, number 8.
Somebody laid somebody flat at the 40-yard line for the Mustangs. Great block.
And that was a good return also for Martin. Let his blocker set up, and that's Martin's way of saying, Coach, sorry about the 15-yard penalty. I'll make up for it. Got the ball downfield for you.
That's very uncharacteristic for him, picking up a personal foul penalty.
But he's put his team in good position. They're in field goal range already.
The great players get you back. Martin wide to the right. Joe in the backfield behind Patrick Frazier. The pass complete to Martin. The 20-yard line. Hit immediately and thrown down at the 18. A short pass to the outside. And I hope that he can slip by defender, but not that time.
Yeah, that was a good open field tackle. Good little quick screen. Martin had a good return. He might be hot. Try to get to the hot, see if he got the hot hand real quick.
Okay, we're calling it 2nd and 7 for Stockdale. 5 minutes plus to play in the 3rd quarter. Patrick Frazier looking over the defense. Taylor Ochoa inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. You have to be impressed with the physical play of Stockdale tonight. Leading the charge, number 66, Chris Bratton, 6'1", 240 for Stockdale.
And you got to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff. That's a good job of scouting this team, seeing what they have, realizing you have an advantage, and exploiting that advantage. And that's what they've done tonight. And that's what coaching is all about.
That's right. Adapting to whomever you're playing. 3rd and short for the Mustangs. Joey Watkins in the backfield. Watkins has the ball, hit hard. Second, third effort has the first down. Inside the 10-yard for the Mustangs, 195-pounder. Pounding away at the Edison DL, the defensive line.
And that's what Martin, like you say, you never quit running, and that's a perfect example where you stop short of the first, and now he picks it up.
It will be 1st and goal.
1st and goal for the Mustangs. Give credit to number 60, Rocky Rodriguez, for laying a block for Stockdale. Inside the 10-yard line, 1st and goal for the Mustangs. There's Watkins to the outside, to the 10, down at the 9-yard line.
Jimmy Watkins
they try to go to the outside against Edison.
Before he's brought
An excellent containment and speed employed by the Tigers.
Yeah, and also Edison's defensive philosophy changed when they get inside the 10-yard line. They kind of tight up, and they also start bringing the secondary players up, trying to get some penetration. And that's
Alan Anderson that time, number 34 and 44 respectively. They did not allow Watkins to cut up over the middle. Gained about a yard. 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. Stockdale 20, Edison 7. Taylor Ochoa about the 5-yard line. Kind of a trap play.
Taylor Ochoa brought down by number 32,
Chris Scott with the tackle for Edison. The Stockdale continues to plug away, pound that middle. Try to set up a play around the outside or a passing play.
Yeah,
and utilizing that clock too.
In passing play, I say something play action, kind of some type of play action play, because right now the Tiger defense is trying to come.
3rd and goal. Frazier Owens to his right, throws it into the end zone. Man is knocked down. There's a flag. Derek Martin, the intended receiver.
And that's a tough penalty to take if you're against Edison.
If it is against the Tigers, it would be 1st and goal, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, and I think they're going to call.
Half the distance. Pass interference. Offensive pass interference.
And I was going to say, because it's
against both.
I was going to say, that's a tough call either way, because both guys they both have a right to go for the ball. I didn't see one guy, the other guy get any contact to get an advance. They both ran, they kind of bumped into, it's kind of incidental contact. And I say a no call, but referee called against the Mustangs, and I think it's a tough call for either the receiver or the defensive back to take, because they both have a right to go in that to the air, to the space.
3rd and goal from the 6-yard line for Stockdale. Timeout Mustangs, 20-7 in favor of Stockdale over Edison. With 2:56 to play in the 3rd quarter, the Mustangs have really controlled the clock throughout this ball game. And of course, they lead by 13, looking for more, but they're playing the game plan to the T.
Yeah, you know, the coaching staff did their job. They scouted, they figured out a game plan that they felt could work, and the players have come out and executed, and that's pretty much how you win ball games. Coaches scout, they break it down, come with a game plan. Players believe in the game plan, they execute it. You execute it, you're going to be in any ball game.
Well, we know Edison has a high-powered offense. They have some players that can take the distance, but Stockdale basically kept the ball away from them.
Yeah,
they haven't had many plays to execute tonight.
No, and I think coming in, you know, like I said, we haven't had a chance to really see Edison on tape and see them like we see some other teams. But it looks to me that they just rely on making big plays. You know, they have, like we've seen, 4 or 5 guys back on the kickoff return team that can return the ball. The punt returners can return the ball. And they have some guys on the outside that get the ball to them. They have to make a man miss, but they haven't been able to do that because of the pressure being applied by the front 7 of the Mustangs on defense.
3rd goal for the Mustangs. Frazier over the middle pass into the end zone. Touchdown, Stockdale! The Mustangs with another touchdown tonight. This one's to number 81, Brian Wango. Perfect setup. Another score.
And Frazier did a good job. They're going for 2 right here. Frazier did a good job. This is another game we've seen him. He has good composure, throws a nice pass. And, you know, he took advantage of those linebackers. They're coming up, trying to stop the run, and that's what you do.
Well, running play set up the pass play for Stockdale. As they have been doing it both ways tonight. Patrick Frazier with all his passing and his running ability. As Stockdale's going for two. Frazier sets behind center, rolling to his right. Here comes the pressure. He unloads it incomplete. Slipped as he tried to throw it off. Call it 26-7 in favor of Stockdale with 2:5:0 to play in the third quarter. The Mustangs with a 19-point lead over Edison.
Yeah, and they were going in trying to make a 21-point lead, 3 touchdowns, you up 19. It's a good play. Almost pulled it off. They slipped a little bit. He had some guys open.
So I feel a little bit slippery tonight in some places.
Yeah, you know, and right now, like I said, Stockdale's done a great job, and so we don't get to see them every week, but every time we come to see them, they're very impressive.
I know they're on TV.
They're a very impressive team.
They followed the worst performance of the year with their best performance in that game against Foothill up to that date. They struggled a couple of weeks when Watkins and Ochoa were hurt. I couldn't believe they only beat Highland by 9 points, and then they struggled against Alpine, who has some capabilities. The Rebels are going to be a much better team next year because they primarily play juniors, some sophomores. We know about James King, the running back. It's just a matter of their players getting used to varsity football. And they definitely learned a lot this year. But one thing about South, despite the fact they were only 1-9, they played close in a lot of games.
Yeah, they did, and they have a lot of potential. I mean, a lot of potential. Good receiver, running back, and Kane, I think, is one of the best backs we've seen this year. I mean, we just had a real pleasure to see some great backs this year.
As Stockdale kicks it downfield, Hodge at the 15-yard line. Here comes Stockdale, he's down for 19. Hodge looking to run it from right to left. Hospital cut it upfield. Mustangs showing great containment on their kickoff team.
And that was a great play right there. Where they hadn't had success stopping them, and that time you get them, make them have to go 82 yards, as they haven't been able to do tonight. They've not had a long drive, a long sustained drive, and
have to go a long ways. Stockdale defense on the field for the Mustangs with a 19-point lead. Goodwin to the 15, cuts back 20-yard line. Up to about the 23. There's a fumble. The Mustangs say they have it before after the whistle.
They're calling it second down, so give the ball to Mustangs. 2:25 and counting, and time's getting short for the Tigers here.
It has been a very spirited game for the Mustangs tonight, not only from their cheerleaders but the fans.
Right here, he's fighting for extra yardage. The defense whips the ball out. And looks there. He may have grabbed it back when he's on the ground.
Third throw, his pass complete to the 25-yard line. And down to 26, game tackling by the Mustangs. Ready for Stockdale defenders over there to make the tackle.
And that's the kind of play that Edison usually is going to try to throw and see if a guy can break it. And the Mustangs are right there for the challenge and had them corralled.
It'll be 3rd and 3.
They're going to have to break a few of them.
Edison,
3rd and a long 3 for Edison at their own 27-yard line.
Where are you from? And who's your mascot? And who's your mascot?
Burr and company up to the ball for the Edison Tigers.
Yell fight!
Ochoa playing a receiver. Ball going to Hodge up to about the 29-yard line. Looks like he'll be shy of the first down. As Brent Warren shoves an Edison Tiger back. Doesn't want to give them that advantage.
Down to number 61.
Good when the ball carries short.
McGuire.
We might have a chain gang measurement.
Appears to be short of the first down.
Now, we're thinking it's short, but is he calling it the chain? He's saying move the chain.
They're calling it 1st and 10.
First down.
Excuse me, it is a first down.
Well, the chain gang won't get any TV time.
Oh, not
50
this time.
seconds to play in the third. Mustangs 26, the Tigers 7. We had some winning late in the second quarter, but primarily it came down during the half. Brewer from the shotgun, looking to his right. Gibbons getting off his man. Brewer gets away from him to the 30-yard line. Dribbled out of bounds at the 33.
Brewer
Mustangs laying some blows out there.
After Brewer made some nice, nifty moves out there, made a couple guys miss, and the Mustangs laying some plastic on some people.
Yes. Gibbons very formidable at defensive end for Stockdale. Now he moves to the right side. After 3 quarters from Mustang Stadium, it is Stockdale 26, Edison 7. You're watching the Prep Football Game of the Week on CNNSI. Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
Oh, no. No, no, no. What are you doing? Give me the bat. Stance is all wrong. Check this out. Come to Papa.
The Saturn wagon. With easy to maintain, dent-resistant doors.
Woo. Good pitch. I'll see you guys later.
I'm Ray Mish, and I know grief comes in many forms. Over the past 40 years, the Mish family has given compassionate, understanding services to thousands of grieving families. The Mish family can provide all needs regardless of your traditions. It may be traditional funeral services or cremation, even counseling for pre-arranged funeral plans. We have 2 locations in Oildale and the Southwest just to help you, and that makes a whole lot of difference.
From Mustang Stadium, Miller just completed a pass for a first down. Burris pass downfield incomplete. It'll be a personal foul penalty against Stockdale.
I don't know. It could be against the.
I don't know. The defensive man was not even looking back for the ball. Number 21.
You can't put your hands all on the back of the guy and throw him out your way.
There's a penalty flag on the play.
We'll see what happens. Against the Mustangs.
They called against Stockdale. That could have easily went against the receiver. You can't just stop and throw a guy out your way.
I think the part of the problem is the fact that the defender wasn't looking back for the ball.
He's not the Rock from WWF. He can't just put his hands on a man.
Face guard. Officials timeout as Edison moving down the field inside the Stockdale 30 to the 27-yard line. Had a couple of completions, with a big one to Miller, which got the ball in the Stockdale territory. 10 minutes plus to play in the 4th quarter. 26-7 in favor of Stockdale. Brewer from the shotgun for the Tigers. Looking to his left, looking to his right. He will run it to the 25, to the 20-yard line. Going to go forward, has a first down.
Brewer brought down by number 10.
Brewer showing some acceleration.
Yeah, and that's 2 times Brewer's been able to get out of the pocket there. And on the only 2 times we've seen really the Stockdale Mustang defense not collapse and stay at home and make the play on him.
Timeout Stockdale.
Now timeout Stockdale. As the Mustangs with that 19-point lead. Under 10 minutes of play in the 4th quarter. Edison on a touchdown march, they hope. I'm sure they won't go for a field goal. Won't do them any good.
No.
Stockdale has controlled the clock and controlled the game tonight. Against the Tigers, who are primarily a big play ball club. The only problem for them is the fact that they haven't had the ball up much tonight.
No, and when they haven't been able to get the ball to these guys to make the plays. We're seeing Miller, his first catch, and when he caught it, he made a nifty move on the defensive back and then picked up another 10 yards.
Edison Tigers 6-3 coming in at Stockdale 7-3.
And there's the Edison band right there, trying to play a rally song right there.
They need a lot of rally songs in a very short period of time. Aaron Atkinson, Joe Marquez, Jesse Crutwell, Eddie Asbury, and Lawrence White for the down lineman for Edison. Quarterback throughout the game has been Nate Brewer, the junior, Mike Stamp, slot back, Brandon Brandon, flanker back, Rel Hale and Johnny Hodge, number 33 and 27 respectively. Brewer, a good one. flipped and filled out at the 22-yard line. Now here comes the flag.
Well,
Penalty flags are
there
down.
was your option play you called for earlier.
Yeah.
Face mask to call against Stockdale.
Face mask penalty against the Mustangs. Somebody's probably just trying to reach for the running back.
Yep, and that's the second penalty. Is going to keep this drive going.
So Stockdale helping out Edison somewhat on this drive. Had a pass interference penalty, now the face mask penalty. Edison inside the 20-yard line at the Stockdale 16. 1st and 5 for the Tigers. 9:35 on the clock. Stockdale up by 19. Brewer to throw for the shotgun. Puts it incomplete.
Brewer's pass intended to number 3, Terrell Hale.
Hale, the intended receiver.
And Brewer did a good
Great
job of not taking the sack, which we seen him do earlier, just get rid of the ball. He had a guy open, almost completed, but he got rid of the ball, no sack. Now you got 2nd and short still.
Now you have 2nd and 5. You had 1st and 5, now 2nd and 5 for Edison. The ball inside the 10-yard line. 2 receivers to inside. They're a quarterback against the Stockdale defense. Some of them playing back. Straight drop back. Incomplete. We're behind his intended receiver. And the intended receiver was number 5, Jason Carr. He has missed on quite a few looking patterns and out patterns tonight. Just not have the timing with his receivers this evening.
No, the timing has not been on. Although they do run good routes, I've seen them earlier, and the receivers have been running good routes.
They've been open.
And the ball just hit there. It's been a little bit off. Got a procedure penalty. I think the tackles moved a little bit early on that play. And so now you're up to 2nd and 9.
Edison Tigers in dire straits outside the Stockdale 21-yard line. Brewer and company with the ball. Looking left, throwing right. The pass complete to the 10-yard line. And Warren throws this man down. Forward progress should be about the 10-yard line.
Mike Stamps on a nice catch.
Stamps with the reception, number 32 Warren with the tackle.
And that time he did a good job. The ball was still not all the way there, but he got out there where the guy can make a play on it, make a catch. And
there was someone behind him.
Yeah, he made a good catch, and now you got 3rd and short.
Called 3rd and 3 for Edison. 4 receivers going out. Brewer looking to his left. Here comes the rush on the backside. He fumbles the ball. Stockdale has it. Gibbons to the midfield 50, 45, loses the ball, goes out of bounds. It is a Mustangs ball after a hard hit from behind. Gibbons picked up the ball, ran down the right sidelines in Edison territory.
And Mark, we talked about that. I just have to really question. You put 4 receivers out. You haven't been able to handle the blocking with your tight end, with your players in. You put the 4 receivers out. You get the sack on the blind side. Right here, so Ochoa looks like comes in with the big sack and the fumble. Now Gibbons is going to pick it up and run and pick up quite a bit of yardage. Although there's a foot race, and I don't think they're going to outrun the Edison Tigers for a touchdown on that, but did a good job picking up some yardage anyway. Almost lost the ball back to him.
Great pressure put on Nate Brewer by the Stockdale Mustangs to come up with a TO. Adam Abel running hard to about the 41-yard line. He has had very few carries tonight, but they had a big one in the first quarter to set up a score by the Mustangs. Adam Abel, number 9. Abel is plus to play in a ball game 26-7 in favor of Stockdale. They'd like to chew up a lot of this clock here in the 4th quarter. They've been doing it throughout this ball game. Derek Martin wide to the left. Patrick Frazier still quarterback. But the Mustangs call a timeout with a big lead of 19 points.
And with 8 minutes left, and like you said, Edison had to score in that possession. They didn't. And they walk away with no points at all. No touchdown. And now they'll just get some nails done in the coffin now. It's just
The only thing to be determined now is the final score of the ball game.
Yeah. Because you know that
Mustang clearing into on the sidelines, Brian, with his jersey off. In the backfield, Mustangs have Aaron Ochoa and Adam Abel. Both these guys are juniors. Aaron is number 1, plays some defense. He's a fullback. Abel, the tailback. Number 9, Martin wide left. Mustangs on the move. Abel to the 40-yard line, hit hard, driven down. Close to the first down marker. Depends where they spot the ball. Looks like they're calling it a first down for Stockdale. They made a nice spot for the Mustangs.
Yeah, very generous spot.
Very generous.
If you're the Mustangs, you think it and keep moving. And right now, tell the backs, do not run out of bounds, stay in bounds.
Greg Dabbs, 84, the tight end on the right side. There's Ochoa, has a good opening 30-yard line to about the 27. Running hard behind his offensive line. The Mustangs continue to pound away at the Edison defensive front.
Yeah,
Cecil Hale.
And this defensive front can't have too much left. I mean, they've been on the field an awful long period of time. You're getting pounded over and over.
Talked about their lack of size prior to the game.
And that was exploited tonight by the Mustang offense.
Number 77 on defenseman is 6'2", 180. Aaron Ochoa leaps over a guy, gets to about the 21-yard line.
Aaron Ochoa picks up about 5 yards before he's brought down.
He's running a lot of explosiveness on the series against that tired defensive line of Edison.
And what I do like about the Mustangs is that they put 2 fresh backs in the game.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's you know, you got the team worn out. You come with 4 fresh legs right there. Just keep running the game out.
You have 2 juniors that have seen some playing time this year, getting some playoff experience. Abel and Aaron Ochoa. Aaron Ochoa running hard, great balance to about the 17-yard line. It should be another first down for the Mustangs. And yes, it is. Move those chains.
Ochoa picked up the first down.
Well, Stockdale's been picking up some first downs in this game. They must be over the 20 FD category.
Oh, yeah. They gotta be real close to it.
That means you're controlling the ball, especially on the ground.
And they gotta be close to 400 yards offense, too.
Very dominating performance by Stockdale. As good as any they've had this year. Derek Martin wide to the right. Frazier.
Abel,
look at that blocking. Oh. Ball pops loose. Recovered by Edison on the 10-yard line.
27, Johnny Hodge.
Johnny Hodge takes it on the right sidelines, cuts back to 35. There's a flag down. He's picking up some blocks. He may go the distance. Midfield 50 to the 40. 30. Goodbye. See you later. He's got to go all the way.
But it might come back.
But it won't count.
But you can see the ability of Hodge. We see him some punt returns. He can make some things happen when he gets the ball in his hand. You know,
I felt like dancing when I said that.
You know, you had a ball pop out, tough, hard run, and he catches it in the air, and then seemed to take it almost 80 yards, but it's going to come back.
He was having fun. It will look good on the films, but it won't count.
Yeah, and again, those kind of penalties are, you can't even begin to defend them because you know you have a guy that can make plays. There's no need for you to try to make a killer block. Let him do his thing.
He thought he was going to take it to the house, but the house was not framed yet.
No, he has his entourage and his escort right there just ruined it for him.
Yeah,
it was a heck of a run, though. And here he is catching the ball. And now it's just like a punt return, and he's just going for it now. Find a room to run, gets to the sideline.
The clipping penalty is taken. The block below the way.
Really brings him back.
Cuts back, and now he just cuts up. And right here with this kid's speed, and no speed to really chase him, he's going to walk in now. I mean, he's waiting for somebody to block, but he knows he can outrun whoever's coming and get him.
Oh, yeah. He was just dancing out there.
And now he walks in for a touchdown that won't count.
Now deploy back inside the 10-yard line. Roots is a running back, number 11. Across the 20, 25-yard line. Finally thrown down to the 30-yard line. Nate Brewer playing running back. So they have two quarterbacks, Edison. Nate Brewer, number 11, a running back.
You know, Edison has,
other new people.
You're down 19 points with 5 minutes in the clock running. You can't afford to sit in the huddle. You have to come out now. This is your 2-minute offense with the 5-minute mark. You should be up the line, calling plays, get this game moving.
Brandon Robinson, number 6, is a quarterback for Edison. He's a junior. Ball given to Brewer, 35-40. Down the sidelines, across midfield to about the 42-yard line. I told you that Nate Brewer could run the football.
You did say that, and they have a lot of offensive potential weapons. The problem is how do you get them loose to demonstrate their abilities, you know. But Brewer made one crucial mistake right there. He didn't get out of bounds when he got on the sideline. He has to get out and stop the clock.
4:40 to play in a ball game. It is Stockdale 26, Edison 7. The Tigers at the Stockdale 41-yard line. Brewer, the lone running back behind Robinson. He has the ball hit the backfield and drilled.
Brewer brought down by number 2, Danny Pruitt.
Danny Pruitt with a great 1-1 tackle, number 2.
And again, Mark, their outside runs have been there for them when they've got a chance to hit them, but you're not going to run inside against this front 7 of the Mustangs. I mean, they're just too big and too strong for the Edison Tigers.
Second and long for Edison, second and 12. As the clock continues to run, Stockdale celebrating early a victory tonight as they move to the second round of the playoffs. The Mustangs will be 8-3. Edison will end their season with a record of 6-4. The Northeast Summer League co-champions, along with Bullard. Their season will be over. Number 33, the ball carrier for Edison. Terrell Hale, fullbacks that are utilizing some other people. Short gain, saw the 40, about the 36-yard line.
There's Hale, another junior.
Yes, Terrell Hale's 33, Cecil Hale's 34.
He's a junior, and the Tigers have a lot to build on. They have a lot of young players that have some good potential. If they can get some linemen with some size, they're going to be a nice team next year.
Look at the roster. They have a lot of 10, 11, a lot of sophomores and juniors. There's a hit at the line of scrimmage, the 35-yard line. By number 54, the Mustangs. Sean Davis.
Stewart, the ball carrier, brought down
Stewart, the ball carrier for the
54,
Tigers.
Sean Davis.
Great hit by Davis.
That'll bring up fourth.
Kind of a body slam job at 4th and 5 for the Tigers.
And it just seems, too, the Tigers, the coaching staff is letting a lot of players get in, get some playoff experience to taste the playoffs. You know, the coffin's been nailed. They're about to put it in the ground at the end of this game and give them a chance to have some taste of playoffs.
And Robinson in their quarterback for Edison. Brewer at tailback. 4th and 5. Pitch back to Brewer. He's going to throw it, possibly. Now he runs it. He gets loose. Has the first down to the 30, 25. Looking to stand his feet to the 22-yard line. Driven down by Brent Warren and company. 1st and 10 for Edison. Brewer showing his elusiveness.
Yeah, and I mean, again, they have some ability. They do have some guys with some great.
I think he should be a running back myself.
You know, that might be where he plays next year. You know, I think the running backs they had were seniors. You know, so that might be where he plays next year. But
Robinson is a junior, number 11. And remember, Brewer did not play quarterback until about 5 days before the regular season opener. That takes more advantage of his abilities, though. Seems to miss a lot of passes, doesn't have the proper timing on the passes, but you got to get him out into the open where he can utilize the abilities that he has.
Yeah, you know, and they tried to, just the timing was off, they didn't get it done, and you got to give a lot of credit to the Mustang front 7 for getting that pressure.
Remember, James Kane was the quarterback at South High before the move to halfback.
Yeah, it ended up being a great running back.
Second down for Edison. 1:30 to play in a ball game. They have 3 receivers going out. They're inside the Stockdale 20-yard line. Robinson, sprint out right, throws it incomplete. Just lunged it out of bounds.
Robinson's pass intended for number 17, Brandon Daniel.
Brandon Downing, the intended receiver for Edison. It is third down, 3rd and 8 for the Tigers.
And like I said, the Mustangs have been impressive tonight, and they'll be 1-0 in the season that people remember most. You know, Coach New has to tell us when we're at UCLA that the games to remember are played in November. So
all right,
this will be a memorable game for the Mustangs tonight.
Mustangs headed to the second round of the Central Section Yosemite Division playoffs. Screen play to Brewer, 25 to the 20. Gets a great block. Cuts back to the 10-yard line. Look at that looseness to the 5 and goes down. Yes, he definitely can run.
I mean, they have 5 or 6.
Great vision.
They have 5 or 6 guys that all look. I mean, you take the numbers off, they all run the same. Miller, Brewer. You had 27. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Hodge. I mean, these guys are fun players to watch, and I know they gave their fans a great season to enjoy. And they play some magical moments on
Have to try to get more size up front if they can beat up some kids.
Just give them time to get the ball to these players.
Yeah. First goal from Edison. The Tigers trying to get the scoreboard. Side handoff to the goal line. Number 33, Terrell Hell. A delayed call of a touchdown. Apparently went over the plane. 36 seconds left. It is Stockdale 26, Edison 13. The Tigers either going for 1 or 2 points here.
Well, you might as well go for 2.
What have they got to lose? Only the ball game.
That's been decided about 8 or 9 minutes ago when you catch the fumble on the drive back there.
Chris Scott will try to PAT. It is blocked.
Jones.
Now the Mustangs block the PAT attempt.
By number 15, Danny
26-13. 36 seconds left of the Mustangs' victory.
Good penetration, great block, and they'll be 1-0.
Well, the Mustangs have to feel very proud of their effort tonight. They controlled the football, controlled the clock. Might have been an easier victory than they thought it would be for the playoffs.
Well, you know, they got a very impressive victory against a dangerous weapon of speed. You know, from pro team to college, everybody wants to get speed, but we've seen tonight you can have a lot of speed and a lot of great potential, but if you don't have the linemen to give them time to get to those players, it's going to be all for naught. And here's the touchdown on the dive play right here. Runs through 1 tackle and gets the ball over the plane.
Brent Warren had a 22-yard field goal and a 35-yard field goal for Stockdale tonight.
Kick off for Edison.
Nate Brewer hit John Holland for a touchdown for Edison. Bring the score 10-7 early in the ball game. Watkins came back with a 2-yard touchdown. The PAT was good, 17-7 Stockdale. Warren has that field goal prior to the first half, so it was 20-7 in favor of the Mustangs at the half. And after they had a great drive, Patrick Fraser hitting right before the score that basically salted it away at 26-7 early here in the fourth quarter.
And you know, we talked a lot about Ochoa and Frazier and Martin and those guys and Watkins, you know, and the linebackers, but we have to give a lot of credit to both the offensive and defensive line of the Mustangs. They both did a great job of controlling that line of scrimmage.
Talk about Darren Carr, Aaron Orndorff, Jeff McGuire, Chris Brad, Rocky Rodriguez. That's the offensive line. A lot of these guys go both ways. Some of the guys, the down linemen who stuck to defensively, Orndorff, Rodriguez, McGuire, Gibbons. A lot of people. Ochoa, Jake Barnett, or Garnett, I should say, Danny Hudson, Courtney Francis, Derek Martin, Brent Warren, and Aaron Ochoa on defense. A lot of two-way players, but very successful for Stockdale.
Yeah, you know, and if we were giving out game balls, but we don't, I'd have to give a game ball to the offensive and defensive line. I think they did a great job of exploiting the advantage they had, and they just came out tonight and just dominated.
I think they really set the tone of the game. Stockdale came out early and just grabbed the ball on Edison's throat in that first drive. And basically, they ran the football on Edison. That opened everything up. Edison could not stop them when they had to tonight. And you have a 26-13 Mustang victory over the Tigers as Stockdale improves to 8-3 this year as they head to the second round of the playoffs. Edison's season comes to a conclusion at 6-4.
Yeah, we have to give congratulations to Mark Henson and his staff to continue this season and make their run for their title. And, you know, and the Edison Tigers had nothing to be ashamed of. You made the playoffs. And, you know, and you came here and you gave it effort. They never quit playing football. The offensive defensive line was just too tough for them.
Got a final score tonight from Mustang Stadium. Stockdale 26, Edison 13. You've been watching the Prep Football Game of the Week right here on CNNSI. Time Warner Cable, Channel 52. From Mustang Stadium on the campus of Stockdale High School. Stockdale 26, Edison 13. As Stockdale improves to 8-3 on this year, they move to the second round of the Yosemite Division Central Section playoffs. Edison season comes to a conclusion as they were 6-4 this year, but you have to remember 4 of the players from last year's team are playing Division I college ball this year. They only had 1 starter returning from last season, so they had a remarkable year. They tied for first place in the North Yosemite League with Bullard, and it was a good season for Edison too.
Yeah, Edison has nothing to be ashamed of. You know, you lost 4 players to Division I, like you said. You had 1 starter coming back. You had a guy that wasn't the quarterback until 5 days before the first game, and they gave a good effort. And they never quit playing football, and they have a lot to look forward to next year.
Patrick Frazier engineered the offense again for Stockton. Did a marvelous job. He has really developed as a quarterback this year. Yeah,
Frazier's done a great job of engineering offense. He has great composure. He hits a lot of different weapons, and I just like the way he engineers a ball club.
I like the fact that he got away from the rush a couple of times and gained some big first downs.
Yeah, and there was no bigger one than after the Edison Tigers came down and scored. It was 3rd and long. They had great coverage downfield, and he broke through, picked up a first down, and kept the drive going, and ended up being a touchdown.
We gave credit to the offensive and defensive lines for Stockdale. That really paved the way early in the ball game, and Jimmy Watkins was just pounding the middle, especially in the first quarter. Taylor Choa did the work in the second quarter. Then Aaron Ochoa and Adam Abel just ran the ball very hard there in the fourth quarter. So Stockton utilizing a lot of weapons. Derek Martin to the outside, the wide receiver. As usual in their game against Foothill, they have so much balance on offense and defense.
Yeah, they're just a solid ball club. Great defense, I believe, and then their offense has the ability to put some points on the board, and they're going to have a good chance to go all the way.
They seem to have it all. Stockton moving on to the playoffs, 26-13 over Edison, the Edison Tigers of Fresno. A victory for Mark Hantz, a loss for Ray Reyes, but a good ball game, in fact. For Brian Adams, I'm Mark Heffernan. You've been watching the Prep Football Game of the Week right here on CNNSI, Time Warner Cable, Channel 52. Good night. line for 13. Split back to behind Sean Alexander. Looking to throw. Fires it towards the end zone. Knocked away at the last moment. Great play by number 12 and Michael Sullivan for West High. The ball intended for Montgomery. Actually unfreed. Number 24.
And that was a great play right there by Sullivan. And that's what defensive back, he's in position, but you have to still make the play. You see a lot of receivers, even on Sundays, the receiver still makes the play because the defensive back didn't make a play and put his arm up and knock the ball away. Great play by Sullivan.
And Bright attempting a field goal. This will be a 39-yarder. A 29-yarder from the 19-yard line. We have flags down. Bright has not been playing wide receiver tonight for Centennial. Basically, he's been practicing his kicks on the sideline. 8:05 to play. We'll see where they spot it. Right now they're spotting it at the 19-yard line. So it will be a 29-yarder. We'll see what the discussion is all about. 14-7 Centennial.